Okay, so I'm gonna do a lineup build for the Showdown slate tonight from the Patriots Giants game. And I'm gonna use, actually, I've already done three builds. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the portfolio manager tool to try to, curate which of those lineups we're gonna use. I use my own projections of both fantasy points, flex ownership, captain ownership, and obviously full ownership. And also, we have a standard deviation of results, which is important as well for when we run our first set of sims. Um, and I've created the files necessary to use with Paydirt. So we're going to go over in order what we need to do here to test all these. So what I did is I built three different 150 lineup sets, and I'll go over what those are. One of them I use the contest sims and the contest sims process that SaberSim affords us. And with that, I use two different assumptions. The first set of sims I ran using the contest sims, using the contest fields that SaberSim provides. They have the flagship MME setting where they predict what the field is going to be. That's one set of fields that I ran it against. Another is that I use the SaberSim like lineup builder and simulator, but instead of using their contest sims, their contest fields, I set it to build my own fields using my own ownership. Okay, so that's another whole group of lineups. And I just kind of use the top 150 of rated by ROI of those. Um, the other thing I did use in full transparency is I actually use the Ace Mind simulator, which I do use from time to time. And that one's a little different because that one requires you to put that standard deviation input in, which I did. And that likewise does use my own ownerships to build the fields. However, a unique little twist to that one is that Ace Mine actually builds five different contest fields. So it runs at five different times. It's five different fields, which adds a little bit of diversification to those results. So I'm using the top 150 ROI lineups from there. So what we're going to try to do is figure out which of those 450 we are going to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload those lineups kind of one at a time into Paydirt. And first, then we're going to kind of curate down based on just something raw, like maybe just projected dupes. And then we will then end up with this bucket of, say, maybe 400 or something. I don't know how many we're going to end up with. And then we have to figure out how to curate those, how to decide which of those to use. So again, the first thing we need is to upload the file. So the first file we need to upload is just the daily the salary file, and I was able to get that straight from DraftKings. And this is the salary file. Again, this sort of just tells the portfolio manager what to do. I mean, what everything is. And then the projection file, which is, I'll show you what that raw file looks like for me today. That is, where is it? I think it looks like this. Yeah. So what this is following the required template from Paydirt, the salary, median, projection, total ownership, and then captain ownership. And so we're going to upload sorry, over to here. And then we're going to start uploading portfolio files. We have to do one at a time, I believe. So the first two we'll do the SaberSim ones first. So I save these here. This one is SS stock, which means this is the ones where I use the stock contest fields. And we're just going to start by just hitting manage portfolio. And I think what I'm going to do, let's just take a look at it first. So let's download these. So these are the 150. I think I just want to just be just kind of clumsy and just manually like knock out everything with a lot of dupes. Now you see a bunch of these zero duped lineups. I don't believe it, honestly. Um, and the reason why this is going to end up being wrong, I'll tell you right now, is because I mean it's probably just because my ownership projections won't be as good as I think they are. But nonetheless, let's we could do it manually or we could just filter them out. I mean, just for fun. I mean, unless something's rated in the top, you know, like this one that's projected for 7 dupes, I might keep it even though it's more than I want, just because it does rate to be one of the higher EV lineups. And you would think that that takes into account dupes to some degree. So let's at least get rid of this. And then, like, so I can't imagine why anything that would be listed all the way down here, I would want if it has, you know, a certain amount of dupes. So like 133, 106, whatever. So we could just probably take, 5 dupes as the max that we'll take from this. So let's do this and let's just take off everything with projected dupes of more than 5 or 5 or more. And then, so we have now 100 of these lineups. Now, again, now they're just rated kind of randomly, like they're rated now by dupes. They're no longer rated by that original ROI ranking that I put in there. So again, we're now kind of like in this other world where we're going to be re-ranking all these lineups at the end. Okay. But we're not going to re-rank them by ROI anymore. We're going to just re-rate them by other metrics. We're going to have 400 or whatever, however many, 300 good ROI lineups that have been reduced by dupes already. And then we have to figure out the best way to do that to curate those down to like 150. So let's save these for now as we're going to call this, okay, we're going to call this SS stock, and then we're going to put candidates. Okay. SS stocks candidates. So we're going to combine these with the others in a while. So now that here's one thing we can do. Let's get rid of this actually, because this is going to come back into the system. We need to get rid of all that stuff. Next thing we're going to do is the same thing with with the um, with the other SaberSim build. Now, I don't know if it needs me to re-enter everything from the beginning. It doesn't take too long, so we may as well, right? Just in case it fails otherwise. So we're going to put this in again, the projection file. Now we're going to use the SS custom. So this is the one where the fields are the fields that I created. So put manage portfolio. And again, don't worry about who we have. This is like, that's not even remotely relevant. Okay. And we'll download portfolio. And then again, same type of thing, like this bunch of these high dupe lineups. So let's just see anything. So this one with 5, I kind of want to keep it in just because it's rated really high. So let's use, 5 as the dupe filter. So let's anything 5 or higher we'll take. Anything else gets trashed. Okay. And this one is how many? This is 70. Okay. So let's do the same thing. So first we'll clean this up. And call this, so we have it, SaberSim custom candidates. Now again, we're just going to combine those two anyway. We'll just keep them close. And then the last thing we're going to do, I mean, not the last thing, but to get our candidate lineups is we're going to now use the one that we use from AceMind. And it's a little different just because of the, well, I'll show you in a minute. So again, same thing, DK salaries, and then projection file. And then important, AceMind doesn't use the SaberSim view format. So you have to change it to the regular DraftKings one. So let's put this in. AceMind 150. Looks good. Manage portfolio. And download portfolio. And then let's see what we have here again. Yeah, so the top rated lineups, you have a couple of these nines. I think then, if that's the case, I mean, maybe I should be inclined to save these. They're all the way at the top. So yeah, let's make it so, we're allowed 9, but that's it. What about this one? 13 dupes, top rated? Nah, I don't think that's good enough. So, but we will make it 9. So anything with 9 or lower dupes, we'll put that in. Okay. So let's do the same thing. Let's clean this up. And it looks a little different, right? Well, it doesn't look any different because now we put in Portfolio Manager. It's changed them to this format. So let's change this and we'll call this. And this is probably a step we don't have to do, but just to keep track. AceMind candidates. Okay. Candidates. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to combine all these. So let's start with this, I guess, and then we're just going to cut and paste those other files into here. So let's start with AceMind candidates. And first we'll go to SS custom candidates. We will put those in right underneath. And then we will go to stock candidates. Put those in underneath. And so this is going to be now resaved as just Paydirt candidates. Candidates. Yes, we do want to replace Paydirt candidates. Actually, let's Paydirt final candidates. Okay. So now what we're going to do is now that we have this new group, we are going to then reinsert them. Now, one thing that you might see different dupe projections when I upload these all together. And James has tried to explain to me why that is. And I sort of understand it. For now, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to presume that the lineups that we have going in are all good candidates from a dupe perspective, although maybe we should just go ahead and just resort by dupes again. Maybe. So let's first again go back again to clear data, and then we'll data load, and let's re-put all this stuff in. Salaries here, and projections here. And now we're going to use the DraftKings FanDuel. We're going to put in Paydirt final candidates, and we're going to hit manage portfolio. So you do see that these dupes are now looking a little bit higher, and that's fine. But let me again, I guess I think it's sort of healthy to then resort these by dupes again. But what we're dealing with here now, we have all 296 lineups, and we're trying to figure out what is the best way to cut this down to 150. Now, one thing that I've been messing around with is this diversity score. And the idea is that, the higher diversity score, the better when you have this portfolio of lineups to choose from. So it's possible that maybe we should just sort this by diversity score and then just kind of be done with it. Although I just, for whatever reason, don't want the highest dupe lineups at the top of this. So let's for now, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's filter this by diversity and see what kind of dupe allocation we get. So this isn't that bad actually. 11, 14. We don't have a lot of really heavily duped ones like these guys maybe aren't so great down here. So because these guys are all the way down here, maybe we should trash these. This is 50,000, you know what I mean? Like how likely is it that a 50,000 is going to be any good? See this whole bunch, this whole clump over here. So maybe we can get rid of those. But aside from that, I think sorting by diversity score is actually is pretty good. Um, the other thing we could do from here is sort by geomean and at least make sure that the geomean does not eclipse the required geomean for that level of dupe. Now again, this we're definitely in, making this up category. And I would say making it up because the geomean method is a little bit flawed. But again, all we're trying to do is reduce candidate lineup. So let's pull up a geomean calculator and figure out what geomean we're going to want. Um, I guess the first thing is we want to see how many entries are in this field so that we can figure out what we're looking for. So it says Showdown Wildcat, how many total are there? Doesn't really say. Monday Night Showdown. Oh, 73,529. So what we do is we put in 73,529. And then this one, it really wants a geo mean of 22.2. That's really low. And it's going to be really tough. But we do have lineups to get there. So maybe that is the last ownership um thing, you know? Like how many are below 23.2 anyway? I mean, you have some, but not too many. But like if we're gonna really put a geo mean of 31, I mean that's like really asking for it, isn't it? I mean, then we're talking about, I mean, like 20 dupes, maybe even 30 dupes here. So we can't do this, you know? We have to really chop off this geo mean. I think I almost want to reverse sort by geo mean here. At the very least, we want to take out these 28s that are up here Well, maybe what we can do, which is leading me to believe that these dupe calculations are probably a little bit ambitious. Because you just don't get like a geo mean of 28 and no dupes. You know what I mean? Um, you just don't get it. So I think we are going to go back to geo mean just for the purpose of this slate. But let's look at a couple of other things we could do. So let's sort by lineup edge. So lineup edge is another good metric that James recommends. But now it's again, you're getting these really high geo means, which are never going. It's just never going to happen for me. What if we again sorted by smallest? See what these small ones look like. Like these I definitely want. So I definitely want the ones that are below 22 or whatever. It's a question of how high I really want to go. And I guess I'm sort of making it up at this point. Like how many lineups do we have now even at our disposal? We have 296. So what's the top 150 here going to look like? I mean, we could certainly, what does sorting by median do for us? I mean, not surprisingly, it gets us stuff with high geo means. So maybe what we'll do is we'll kind of try to combine these things. We'll sort by, see, the good thing is the diversity ones, like none of them are really showing up with huge geo means. So let's at the very least take out everything under 28. How about that? Okay, that's actually a good idea. Let's start with that. Anything under 20, oh, I'm sorry, over 28. So over 28 is gone. So over 28 is gone, and that's going to leave us with 246. And then if we resort by diversity score, maybe that's not bad. And the other thing we can do is kick it old school and just not allow anything with 50,000 exactly in there. But I think that's being very I think that's being a little dogmatic. What we certainly could do is then resort these dupes. Again, we're trying to snipe off some of these, which I think are just going to be a little bit too duped here. So let's at least get rid of the minus fives from here, or the ones that are above fives from here. Or I mean, these we just can't use. So if we did this, this isn't bad. But let's keep these five. And now I think that I can live with some of this. Now let's go back to GeoMean and see what these are. Boy, these look so grim. I think that's just going to be what we're going to have to do. I think we're just going to have to take off the highest GeoMean numbers. But you know what? The good thing about these high GeoMeans is that they have low salaries. So it's possible that you can get away with it. You can't get away with the high GeoMeans with the over 49,000s though. So these are going to go. And then this one as well. Again, we're not even remotely considering who we have here, right? This one's got dupes and so now what do we have? 174. Now what we could do is we could then reinsert these and then sort by diversity score. Okay, and just try our best to get the lineups of these 170 that don't look alike. So we could certainly try that. Or we could just blindly take out the 50. The only reason I don't want to take out the 50,000 salary one is because it does have a very low GM. Or we could have ChatGPT select at random for us. Or we could take 20 of these bad boys and put it in the 20 mass. And that's possible also. But the question again is which 150 do we put in this one? I don't know, you guys are watching me like, what are you doing? What does this have to do with football? I mean, nothing. Just nothing at all. But I do like this. I do like this group. Let's see about that check diversity again. Certainly do this. This has some low geomeans, some not so low. Yeah, I think we are just going to sort this by different. Actually, we have to re-enter it, right? Because it's got to be diverse uh, to itself. So let's do one more screen, and that's what we're going to agree. We're going to agree that we're going to we're going to reinsert this and take the top 150 rated by diversity. So let's first take this out. And then we're going to save this as Paydirt final, 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 and then I mean it. Okay. So now we'll go back into Portfolio Manager. I forgot where it was. So let's just go back. Let's go back this way. Clear data, data load, same as before. Salaries. Again, all of this so that somebody can get ruled out and I have to change everything. Nonetheless. And then we're not going to use SaberSim, right? We're going to use this DraftKings. We're going to call this Paydirt Final, I mean it. Manage portfolio. And again, we know what we're going to do. We're just going to download it from here and sort this all by diversity. Boom. Data, filter, diversity, boom. And this 150. That's it. We decided. Almost. I know you guys are doing. You're like, oh, let me just see who we have. Let's see who we have. That's just not even remotely relevant to this discussion. So we'll go here. We'll go here. Download. Here. Boom. Make sure I have everything here. Save. Now there's one thing that we're going to have to check is whether any of these lineups has been duped. Because again, we use three different sets of sims, three different sets of lineups, but it's very possible we have the same one show up in all three. So let's see how many of those exist. Yeah, we do have a non-zero amount of these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lineups that are duped. One way we could avoid that is again when we do our resorting is sort by medians or like by unique medians or something like that. But for now, I'm just gonna have to go in and manually, just insert more into here. But that's gonna do it. Again, you're kind of along with me for the ride here. I'm learning as I'm doing this stuff. And yeah, that's it.